Hello, my name's Abby Glover, and today I will be going into cells. And first, I will be comparing and contrasting eukaryote cells and prokaryote cells. I have these diagrams. This is a prokaryote, and the last one I showed you was a eukaryote. First, I'm going to be going into the differences and what some may lack and what some may have. The first one is that a eukaryote cell has a nucleus right here, and however, the prokaryote cell does not. That's probably going to be the biggest difference, at least to me, is that one lacks a nucleus and one does not. Next is that prokaryotes are typically way smaller than eukaryotes, and prokaryotes are usually 0.1 micrometers, while eukaryotes are bigger at 10 to 100 micrometers. Next, prokaryotes lack organelles. They have very few organelles. Meanwhile, the eukaryotes have plenty. Next, these are eukaryotes, as you can see, are way bigger, and they're way more complex than prokaryotes. Next, prokaryotes produce asexually through binary fission. Meanwhile, eukaryotes produce through mitosis or sexually through meiosis. And I know I just compared a lot of differences, but one main thing is that they both have ribosomes, and they both have plasma membranes, and they both have DNA. Next, I'll be going into the endomembrane system and showing you guys how it works inside the cell. First, I'll be going into the different parts. This is the rough ER, the smooth ER, and this is the Golgi apparatus. And last, but this is the nuclear envelope. So for the rough ER, it gets its rough appearance from all these little ribosomes in there. These are the tiny ribosomes, the little dots right there. It might be a little bit difficult to see, but that's what gives it that rough appearance. The rough ER is responsible for making proteins, which then get transported in one of these vesicles and carried to the Golgi apparatus. Next, I'll be going into the smooth ER. The smooth ER doesn't have any ribosomes, which gives it that smooth appearance, which is why it's called the smooth ER. However, they may be smooth, they're still responsible for making lipids, and those also get transported in a vesicle and sent off to the Golgi apparatus. The smooth ER is also responsible for detoxification of harmful chemicals. And yeah, that sums it up mostly for the smooth ER. Next, going into the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus I kind of like to think of as a post office that sends packages to certain locations and just decides what they want to do with those packages. So, for example, let's say the rough ER gets a protein and it's transported in one of these vesicles. So we'll put a little protein in there. Let's say this protein right here gets transported in that vesicle and shipped off to the post office. And the Golgi apparatus decides what it wants to do with this protein. So let's say some proteins are turned into a digestive enzyme, which get packed into a specific vesicle called a lysosome. And that lysosome right there, which then the lysosome's job with that protein, so the protein goes all the way into this specific vesicle called a lysosome, which bonds to another coming vesicle, this vesicle right here, and it releases the nutrients into the cell. And let's say these are the nutrients. Next, the Golgi apparatus has many tasks. Let's say it gets a lipid and it doesn't want it in the cell. So it wants to release it, doesn't want it, decides, I think it will be useful somewhere else around the cell. So it gets packaged in a secretory vesicle. So let's say secretory vesicle. I'll draw little sunglasses as a spy for a secretory vesicle. But then this vesicle then decides I'm going to go out here outside of the plasma membrane, which the Golgi apparatus decides that's what it wanted it to do, which then it will go out and let's say it will bond with another part of the cell. And for the endomembrane system, it can fluctuate. There could be more rough ER or other smooth ER. Let's say it's in a muscle area or a liver area. It depends where it is on the body, and these fluctuate. So there may be more smooth ER, rough ER, but no matter what, the process I just showed you, it all stays the same throughout the whole cell. Next, to go more into the cell, I wanted to go into the endosymbiotic theory. Breaking this word up a little bit more, endo means into and symbiotic means relationship. So scientists came up with this theory. Their idea was that two organelles were engulfed by a eukaryotic cell. So this literally ate or engulfed two organelles. And I drew this because they're happy and they just ate a McDonald's meal. So after the eukaryotic cell engulfed it, their idea is that it stemmed into mitochondria, and that just gives evolution a lot of advantage, and here's why they believe it. So, DNA similarities. Mitochondria and chloroplasts contain their own circular DNA similar to bacterial DNA. Next, they both have double membranes. Both organelles have double membranes consistent to the engulfing process. Ribosomes. Their ribosomes are more similar to a prokaryotic cell than to those found in a eukaryotic cell. Next, reproduction. Mitochondria and chloroplasts reproduce independently through a process called binary fission. Truthfully, I don't really believe in this evidence because I just don't believe in it. But yeah, that is the endosymbiotic theory. Next, to go more into the cell, I will be going into the kinesin motor proteins. This little guy is very hardworking. I'll go more into depth about it, but I really like explaining it. So first I'm going to go into how they're built. They're built on two heads right here, right there, and they have a tail right there. And they're composed of two light chains and two heavy chains. I like to think of this as like their feet, and this is like their grabber. So this part grabs onto their cargo, and this part walks along the body's like highway system, also known as the microtubule cytoskeleton. So they're very hardworking, and here's why. They can carry up to 100 pounds, not 100 pounds, but 100 times their own weight in cargo. And they do this by every step they take, they are able to take it with ATP. So every step they take, they have to get an ATP. So they get an ATP and they take another step, and then they get an ATP and they take another step. And it's not like a slow process at all. They can take steps at a speed of 100 to 200 steps per second. They perform using mechanical movements by using the body's natural chemical energy inside the body. The top right here generate power, release automatic inhibition, and activate motor protein. However, they may be very hardworking, but they're not very smart. If you're sick right now, they may have had a part of it because they just carry whatever they want. They carry bacteria, hormones, good things too, but they're very hardworking, and that's my main takeaway on this. And each step they take, they need to have an ATP. Well, thank you for watching my video, and I will see you next time.